So without further ado, it's now my great pleasure to introduce the Honourable Minister for Infrastructure for the Government of Rwanda, the Honourable James Musoni, to formally welcome you and open the conference.
Honourable Minister, distinguished delegates from the aviation industry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2017 Aviation Development Conference. And we are honored as a country to host you. On behalf of the government of Rwanda, I would like to thank the organizers of this conference, and certainly thank you so much for choosing Kigali as the venue for this conference. This sector, this industry, aviation industry, is very, very important for the socio-economic development of every continent. Statistics have shown that the aviation industry is an enabling force for economic transformation, and according to the 2017 report by the Air Transport Action Group, released just last week, air transport supports an estimated 63+ million jobs globally and contributes $2.7 trillion to the global gross domestic product. That's not something that is small. It's actually about 3.5% of the global total. So visionary leaders across the world have long realized the aviation industry's potential to drive economic growth and consequently invested heavily in establishing world-class airlines that in no small measure create jobs, facilitate global trade, and stimulate economic growth and development. In Rwanda, the sector is considered as a pillar for economic transformation, and the decision to host this conference in Kigali underpins the government of Rwanda's strategy of boosting investment in aviation and tourism sectors with a focus on meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. Currently, the sector in Rwanda is undergoing rapid transformation. For example, our airline, Rwanda, is continuously expanding its capacity and network. Our government has signed over 6 bilateral air service agreements with countries in Africa and beyond. And this is facilitating air connectivity, opening up new markets, and in turn, contributing significantly to all participating national economies. It's visible that the aviation sector in Africa is on a steady rise in terms of growth, and I would urge you that this growth will be sustained by further breaking down any and all barriers to allow air transport to grow to greater heights. And this should be in line with the 2015 AU commitment solemn commitment by heads of state. To this end, we salute those African nations that have fully implemented the Yamoussoukro decision, which is about opening skies in Africa. I also wish to take this opportunity to appreciate and acknowledge some of the countries in Western Africa that have fully liberalized their airspace for and granted our national carrier the fifth freedom traffic rights to operate in their skies in partnership with the government of Benin. Rwanda has partnered with Benin, and they have established a base in Benin, which is serving very well Western African countries. This conference provides an excellent platform to forge partnerships among decision makers, potential investors, the global network of the air transport sector stakeholders, namely commercial aircraft operators, airports, air navigation service providers, and the manufacturers of aircraft and their components, as well as the international and local hotel operators. As the second Aviation Development Conference takes off today, we should be cognizant of globalization, which is ever becoming deeply ingrained in every nation's DNA, making our air connectivity essential for the development of every country. In that regard, I would like to register appreciation to international organizations like the International Civil Aviation and the International Air Transport Association, which have greatly contributed to the growing connectivity by ensuring proper standards in the industry and for maintaining consistency in global policing of the aviation sector at large. As I conclude, I would like once again to thank the organizers for putting together this wonderful event. Lastly but not least, I'd also like to extend an invitation to all industry stakeholders to the fully-fledged air show in 2019 that will take place here in Kigali. You are all most welcome. Distinguished audience, with these few remarks, allow me to declare this conference officially open. I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Many thanks, Minister. I'd like to recognise the presence of both of the ministers and say thank you very much. Without this, we would not be here today, so thank you so much for your presence. We'll now do a photograph, and then we can leave the stage and get on with the next session. So if we can all make our way to the front.